Hello guys, this is Pavel Oskorov from Laravel Daily Team and YouTube channel Laravel Business, and today I will help one of our customers to create a project. So this is what I get here. I received that in customer support email for our QuickAdminPanel, and the potential customer basically asked, can this be done and generated with your tool, with our tool, our generator? It's kind of an LMS system, learning management system. Typical one for courses, users, and lessons and categories and stuff like that. So pretty small scope. And I don't have anything besides this screenshot. So they took care of Eloquent models, which is pretty smart. That's always what I like to start with every project. So I write down something like that. So table, fields, relationships, and all of that, and then it's much easier to decide on the scope, on the details, and go one by one to different fields. So this is exactly what we will do. And along the way, I will kind of fix some things that the client wanted, or maybe we would do it in my way. It's not necessarily the only way, but maybe practice how I would do that. So first, let's tackle user and profile. Actually, let's just run through it, what we have here. So user profile, courses. Courses have categories and tags. Also, courses are divided into parts and then lessons. So lesson belongs to a part and part belongs to a course. And finally, there are votes for the courses. And also there are blog posts, but probably I won't even do that because that blog may be created separately in WordPress potentially. So I won't deliver on those two. So it's pretty simple, right? Let's start with user and profile. So name and surname, email, password, everything is fine. Now lang. Lang is probably language, which means what language is the user like preferring the content in. And here I would like to start with languages as table, as database table, and then do a foreign key of user's language ID to that table. Next, enrolled courses. This won't be a field either. It will be belongs to many relationship from user to course, because user may be enrolled in many courses and courses may belong to many users. So it belongs to many. Then has one profile, and profile is on the right. To be honest, it's a personal preference, but I'm not a big fan of profiles as a separate table. Why would you do that? I mean, additional 5 fields, 5 columns, instead of just doing it all in one table. As long as it's not like 50 fields, I think it's pretty much okay to have it all in users table without any additional relationship. The only exception would be if you have separate user roles with different profiles, and for example, only certain types of users need that profile, otherwise it's empty. Then maybe it makes sense to have profile for some users if it's relevant. But in this case, I would add all those profile fields into users. For country, also it will be a drop down with countries. And I guess that's it. So we can try to create that first. So I launch QuickAdminPanel and we create new panel, courses. Let's call it courses on, for example, Core UI. I'm a big fan of that front-end theme, well, admin panel theme. And while it is being created, we can already create CRUD menu items. So for users, what fields do we need in addition to two typical ones? So name, it is here by default. So here's the default structure by Laravel. And we add surname, right? Surname is optional. Let's drag it down to the name. So name, surname, email, password, it is here. So roles is our system field, belongs to relationship, belongs to many relationship for roles. Then languages, we will add that a little bit later. Enrolled courses, so these are all relationships, we'll have them later. Now avatar. Avatar is a field of field type, what is that? Photo. So avatar, and that's it. Then country will be a relationship, so username, website, and description. So these 3 we can create because they are text fields. Username, I think it should be required. I'm not a big fan of usernames either these days. These days everyone is logging in everywhere via email, password, or with social stuff like login with Google or Facebook. Okay, we have website and description. So text, website, and description. text area description, optional, and that's it. So we save that CRUD, save the latest changes for users. And by the way, at the end of this video, I will have the working admin panel, and I will send that to that potential customers, to the one customer. I won't put it on GitHub. It's not, I mean, it's kind of a private thing in a way, but you can just follow what am I building and what are my thoughts about the structure of the database. Okay, so we have users. Now for relationship, we have to have languages. So we need to create new CRUD or new table, and by CRUD, so languages, name probably, and code, language code, ISO code, I think it's called, ISO code. So we create that one. So for every CRUD in our QuickAdminPanel, these things are generated: model, controller, set of views, routes, validations, API. So basically typical CRUD. Now we have languages, and we can add a relationship for language and users table. So users, we add a new field. A relationship is at the bottom. There's belongs to relationship. Language, and the system will automatically add _ID as the default Laravel stuff. We choose the model languages. We click save, and we save the whole CRUD. Okay, so we took care of the languages. Now countries. For countries, we have another interesting thing. So if you create, we have kind of an Easter egg in our system. If you create a CRUD called countries, the system will offer to create the countries with seeds. So seeds for all the countries in the world. And it's been generated. Okay, so we have countries now with two fields, title and ISO code, I think. And again, we get back to users then. We edit the users table, and we add country ID, or belongs to relationship to country. Belongs to country. Model for the relationship is countries. And this is the field not for the relationship. This is what field to show in the list of users, in our case. Save. Great, we save the CRUD. What else? Probably that's it for the user. Now let's get to the courses. For the courses, we first need to create categories and tags, and then we will build courses with relationship. Right, so categories. Probably it should be course categories or something, but wait, do we have? Yeah, we have the name, but I won't create prefix like course categories or anything like that. Let it just be categories. Just name, oh, slug, yeah, slug, forgot the slug. And for slug, we have a separate article, how to perform the slug automation from the name, from the title. So you input the title, and then Ajax call to the database, search for the slug. If it's available, then it's suggested and stuff like that. So I will link that article in the YouTube video description. Right, so we have categories now. Next is tags. And that is also incorrect. It's not belongs to. Course may have many tags, but it's not has many. It belongs to many, because course can belong to many categories, and category may belong to many courses. So this is not belongs to. This is belongs to many. But we will create that from the course CRUD. Now we need tags. So tags will be name and slug also. So name and slug. I won't stop with the validation. You can choose required fields, but it's not the main thing of this video. So I will just, to save time, I will skip on some additional settings. So tags, and then course. Now we can create courses, right? So create CRUD menu item courses. And what fields do we need? Duration, difficulty. What about the name of the course? I think it should be present, don't you think? I guess they forgot about it. So name or title, let's call it name. I'm constantly debating whether to use name or title for different things. They are kind of similar, but not exactly. Let's add slug as well. Slug here from this. Duration, difficulty, excerpt, thumbnail. Okay. Duration, let all be text, so duration may be, I don't know, from to. It could be text-based, not necessarily a number. So duration, then difficulty. Also let it be text, because difficulty may be described in like free form. excerpt and thumbnail. So excerpt probably is text area. Excerpt is or short description. Let's put short description. More kind of clear what it does. And thumbnail. So thumbnail is the same as user avatar. It would be a photo field. Thumbnail. Save. And now we can add relationships. So relationship to category and to the tag. And this will be belongs to many relationship, as I said before. So categories will be model categories. Save. And another one will be belongs to many relationship to tags. Yeah, tags. And by the way, at the end of this video, I will export the database schema via MySQL Workbench, and we'll see the final result, how it looks. So instead of text-based, you will have visual schema. Right, so have categories and tags. That is also done. So we're done with the courses. And final part, not the final, there are two parts left. So parts and lessons, and then votes. So parts, I think it's the wrong name. I would call it sections. So parts is kind of part of what, but section is more like better description, I think. So let's rename it to sections. Sections, title, and belongs to course. So title, it's not name, it's title. Okay. So section title and belongs to the course. Every section need to have a course, or every course need to have has many sections. And by the way, when we're creating that belongs to relationship, the parent is creating the has many relationship as well. So we need to have course here, course to model courses. And by the way, this is generating in the background. I can keep creating more stuff, and in the background it keeps generating. It's in the queue somewhere. So title and the course. So we have sections, and then every lesson will have this set of fields. So lessons will be title, then probably will be course, belongs to part, actually belongs to not the part, it should be sections. So every lesson belongs to some section. So sections title. And then content, slug, completed. Actually, slug should be after title. Slug, save, and we drag it up. Slug, then content. Content should be probably text area and with visual editor. So content and CK editor use yes. It will add a CK editor visually for admin panel. Completed, I think it's the wrong name. I would call it published. And on top of that, it's not just published. How I like to save those things is published at. Something like timestamp, like created at and updated at by Laravel default stuff. We do the same published at, so we will not only know is it published or not, but also when was it published. So published at will be datetime picker, published at, and it will create a timestamp field. What did we miss here? State. State is published, draft, or new. I think it's a little unnecessary because completed is kind of the same as published, or maybe I misunderstood that specification, but I think published at is enough, and then from that we would know if it's a draft or it's a published lesson. And new, we could kind of do new, but new could be also calculated from created at field. So it's not really necessary. I don't think so. So lesson is, I think it's done. Yeah, I think it's done. Save CRUD, and final part is the vote, which is just, well, votes table, votes CRUD, which will have status is also not really a good word. I think it's vote, just or rating or something. One up or one down. Let's call it a vote, and it will be an integer, vote itself, and then it will be belongs to course and belongs to user, to relationship. So belongs to relationship course, to model courses, and belongs to relationship user. So who voted for which course? Perfect. And also timestamps are by default. We save CRUD, and that's it. Here we have created in what it was 10 minutes or 15 minutes with QuickAdminPanel. We've created a database schema with AdminPanel for all of those. And now let's try to export that. I will download the code locally, and I will export the database with MySQL Workbench. First I will download, then I will install. Here's some installation instructions, but it's typical Laravel project, nothing really fancy. So let's install that locally and see the database. Okay, we successfully finished Composer install. Now we do artisan migrate fresh seed to migrate the database and seed the data. And from that, we will visually create the database and show you the result. Actually, the first result will be the admin panel itself. I had an old project on that domain, q3.test. Now it will be courses. So if you log in as default admin.com password, this is the actual result that you will get. The code is generated. I didn't touch the code at all. I didn't open PHP Storm or Sublime or anything. I just downloaded it as it is. So we have all those languages, countries, and categories, and all of those stuff. So lessons, everything that we have just created. And now from that, to kind of prove to you that it's all legit, we will open MySQL Workbench and we will reverse engineer the database. I connect to my homestead. We go database reverse engineer in menu item. We will choose the database. Then we click continue, 23 objects, and some of those objects will be relevant to the project, some system table, API tables, and stuff like that, but most of it, so media is for files, or auth is for API. Let's drag drop some stuff. Lessons here, lessons are needed, countries are needed, auth, nope. Actually, let's zoom out a little. So we need votes. Votes will be probably somewhere on top. Courses will be in the middle. Courses will be category and then categories here. Course tag will be here and tags here. Auth is not needed. Migrations is system table. Auth is also here. Votes here. Let's drag it here. Users. Right, users, and some permissions table, let it be system, so rows, users, rows, and what it was, it's even lower, so permission rows and permissions. Drag it further. Migrations, languages, we do need languages. Auth is not needed in our case, so we drag it to the right, and password resets is also system table from Laravel. Right, so it's getting shape, so sections and lessons. Right, so we'll have sections and lessons for every course. Now votes belong to courses and users. Tags will be here. Languages will be here. I'm trying to drag everything so it wouldn't interconnect, so it will be visually clear to read. Category course, and I guess I'm done with that. So except for these user system tables, so I'll drag a little further. So yep, skip these 4 tables for rows and users. We'll have what we needed. So users table, let's zoom in again. So users, user has languages. Actually, users belongs to one language. Then country. Country is also, so instead of doing profile, we did user stuff. Then users vote for the course, and every course has many tags, may have many categories here. And also course is divided into sections, and every section has one or more lessons, so has many lessons. So with this example, I wanted to show you the capabilities of our QuickAdminPanel and also generate some real stuff for a real person who asked for help. So I will send it to him shortly after this video and publish the video itself on YouTube. If you have any ideas of what can I generate more with QuickAdminPanel to show you, or any demo projects like that which can be shoot in like 20 minutes, let me know in the comments on YouTube. And also you probably have seen my email in the very beginning of the video, or I will repeat it even now, so contact me via email for any ideas of the future videos. And of course, support these videos by purchasing or trying out QuickAdminPanel generator. See you guys in other videos.